Have you ever wondered if the way you're betting is actually setting you up to lose? I believe most of the betting advice out there is designed to keep you broke. The picks, the parlays, and the gut feeling bets are completely useless. And I know that because the people who actually make money from betting use a completely different system, one that relies on math and discipline. So in this video, I'm going to break down the exact 7-step system to go from $0 to $10,000 in sports betting, step by step. And I'm not talking about gambling, I'm talking about a real, repeatable strategy. Alright, so step 1. And this is a big one. This is one of the most important mindset shifts you can make, and it's the glue that holds everything else together. Let me show you what I mean. Imagine someone jumping into the stock market, picking random stocks because they just have a feeling, putting half their savings on some hot tip, then freaking out when it drops. That person would be broke in a month. But that's exactly how most people bet on sports. If you don't treat betting like a business, you're going to lose. Simple as that. So here's how the pros do it. They treat every bet like a trade, they look for value, they manage risk, and they think in months, not one night at a time. So if you're starting from scratch, do this. Set a bankroll, define your unit size, and only bet when there's actual value. Not just because there's a game on. But how do you actually find value? Well, I use a tool called OddsJam. It scans the market and shows me where the odds are mispriced, meaning I can spot value bets without guessing, without watching games, and without spending hours doing research. It's what sharp bettors use to find positive expected value bets in real time. I'll drop a link to it in the description if you want to check it out. But alright, step 2. And this one surprises a lot of people, because you don't actually have to know who's going to win to make money. Let me give you an example. Imagine flipping a coin. It's 50-50, heads or tails. But let's say someone offers to pay you $1.10 every time you win, and you only risk $1 to play. Even though it's a coin toss, you'd take that bet every time, right? Sports betting works the same way. You're trying to find bets where the OddsJam are wrong, where the price you're getting is better than the real probability of that outcome. That's called having an edge. So here's what to do. Stop asking, who's gonna win? Start asking, is this price good enough to bet? Because you're not betting teams, you're betting numbers. Okay, so step 3. And this one's a silent bankroll killer. Most people lose money not because their bets are bad, but because their bet sizing is all over the place. Let me tell you what I used to do when I was just starting out. I didn't track anything. No unit size, no real system. I'd win a few bets, start feeling confident, and the next thing you know, I'd double my bet size or go all in on a game I felt good about. Sometimes it worked, but when it didn't, I'd lose half my bankroll in one night. And that was a tough but necessary lesson. You don't win by being aggressive, you win by being consistent. So here's what I do now, and it's what the pros stick to. I keep my unit size the same, usually around 1 or 2% of my total bankroll. I don't increase it just because I'm on a hot streak, and I don't double down when I'm losing. I just stay consistent and let the math do its job over time. That's how you avoid blowing up your bankroll and actually give yourself a real chance to win long term. And now for step 4, and this one might feel uncomfortable at first. But most of the time, the best bet is the one nobody wants to take. I remember early on, I'd always bet the favorites. It just felt safer, right? The best team, the star players, everyone was on it. But over time, I realized something. Those lines were always terrible. The odds were awful. And most of those safe bets lost anyway. That's when I learned how the market actually works. When everyone's betting on one side, especially big favorites, the sports books adjust. The line moves. The price gets worse. That's why smart bettors often take the other side. So next time you see 80% of the money on one side, ask yourself, is this bet still good, or has the value been bet out of it? And that's exactly why I use OddsJam. It helps me catch those situations where the public has pushed the line too far, especially on underdogs, and the books haven't corrected yet. It scans hundreds of markets in real time and shows you where the odds are off, so you're not just guessing or relying on gut instinct. If you want to find actual value, without spending hours researching every game, OddsJam is the tool to use. I'll leave a link in the description so you can check it out. But moving on to step 5, and this is one that trips up a lot of beginners, including myself. Back when I was new, I followed a guy online who looked like he had it all figured out. I paid for his picks and lost money. Not just once either. I kept chasing. I believed the next week would be better. But the truth is, he wasn't making money from betting. He was making money off people like me. And once I realized that, it clicked. If someone really has an edge, why would they sell it for $20 to thousands of people? Pros protect their edge. They place their bets quietly. So if you're thinking about buying picks, pause and ask, is this person actually betting or are they just marketing? The best bettors avoid the hype. They follow proven systems to find positive expected value bets that make the real money. Step 6. And this one's important because this is where most people panic. They hit a few losses and think the system is broken. Let me show you why that thinking is wrong. Think about the stock market. On average, it returns about 7 to 10% per year, but that doesn't mean every year is green. You could start investing and immediately lose money for months or even a full year and still be on track long term. Betting works the same way, especially when you're betting with positive expected value. You can lose your first 10 bets and still be making great decisions. Why? Because edge plays out over hundreds of bets, not 10. So if you're doing the right things, using tools, betting with a real edge, managing your bankroll, then the short-term results don't mean much. You've got to let the volume and time do the work. And this is why I always use OddsJam's bet tracker. It helps me keep track of every single bet I place, so I can see how my edge is playing out over time. If you're taking this seriously, tracking your results is non-negotiable. I'll drop a link in the description so you can check it out. Step 7, and this is one of those lessons that really separates casual bettors from professionals. I remember one Saturday, tons of games on the board. I was ready to go. I spent hours digging through markets, looking for something that felt right, but nothing stood out. And instead of walking away, I felt like I had to place something, like I'd be missing out if I didn't. So I forced a bet. And yeah, it lost. That day stuck with me because the truth is, waiting for a good opportunity is part of being a sharp bettor. The pros aren't in a rush. They're not betting out of boredom or pressure. They're betting when the numbers make sense. So now, if I can't find a clear positive expected value bet, I'm totally fine sitting the day out. Although with OddsJam, that isn't much of a problem anymore because it finds these positive EV bets for me. Now earlier we talked about how profitable betting comes down to having an edge and staying ahead of the market. But if you're not paying attention to where the market is headed this year, you're already behind, and most bettors don't even realize it. So watch this video next. I break down 6 sports betting trends you need to know in 2025 if you want to stay sharp and keep your edge. Some of these trends are already changing how the pros bet, and one of them could completely flip your strategy.